Hello, Internet. I like that. Do you like that? Hello, Internet.
No.
What do you want to do? Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
That gets boring.
Well, if it likes.
Hello, Marks on the Grillers.
Yeah.
M.O.T.Gers.
That's fun.
Grilling Nation. I'm sure that's taken. M.O.T.G Nation. Nobody's gonna put that on a mug.
You don't know.
True, you don't know. So it's so hot here. We're in Clearwater, Florida, in case you're not sure where we're at. We waited till we got on the bridge here so there was water around us, so it looked really pretty. Over the summertime, we traveled a little bit and we ended up in Nashville, and that was such a cool place. And we heard about Nashville Hot Chicken, and we had it, what, 3 times?
Yep.
3 times we had Nashville Hot Chicken. We had it at a country musical review. Which was interesting. It didn't taste like the other two. And then we had it at, we actually had it at Hattie B's, right? And then the day before we couldn't get to Hattie B's, so we went to, and I can't remember the name of the place, which is unfortunate because it was the best.
It was very good.
We made a video. Yes, we did. So the name of it's on there. Enjoy the video. I don't know. So, and we've been obsessing ever since. There's just something about the heat that's in there, the way it's made, which is, I mean, I guess it's no secret. We're here to tell you how it's made. There's brown sugar in it.
Brown sugar.
So yeah, it just kind of, it's one of those dishes, and you're like, oh man, I gotta get that. So we started Googling Clearwater and Largo, and nobody really had much of anything Nashville Hot Chicken wise. And then this place opened up, man, King of the Coop in Tampa, and it is a 27-minute drive to get there for freaking chicken.
No, but it's worth it.
It's totally worth it.
I first thought it was goofy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We're not going to Tampa. Well, she didn't talk like that. That was probably me in her head, right?
Like you're like that.
You can like my dad. So yeah, we went there and yep, that was it, man. That was just the authentic. It tasted right, and it was the right heat. Like they've got levels of heat that would kill you and I.
Yes.
But the classic Nashville heat, which I didn't used to be able to take.
Yes.
Nope.
I call it good heat.
Good heat.
Because it stays, but it doesn't make your eyes water. But it,
Right. But then it goes away.
Right.
And it doesn't
Like,
sit in your esophagus for the next 25 minutes.
You don't feel like you have to guzzle milk as soon as you've eaten it.
Never felt like I had to guzzle
Oh, I have
water,
eaten stuff where you have to guzzle
bread.
milk.
The traditional stuff served with bread. So the whole point of this, as we babble on, is we are going to go to this place. We're not going to do the thing where we run in, we're Marks on the Grill, we're making a video, and can you talk to us? We're just going to do like a little bit of sneaky poo. Is that a thing? It's not a thing.
Yeah, I like it.
Sneaky poo is a thing? Oh my God. All right. So yeah, we're gonna go in there. We're gonna order our favorite, and we're gonna for some reason eat it in front of you because the internet seems to like that. And then we're gonna turn it over to our set in the backyard at Marks on the Grill, and we're gonna do our darndest to make it ourselves. It's got quite a few steps in it, so I mean, I don't even know what's easier. It's like. Well, it's like a 2-hour prep time. You still got to buy the chicken, which is like $20, right? You can never eat it all. And then this is a $20 trip. Why the hell are we even doing this? All right. So anyway, enjoy the beautiful scenery around us. The water's lovely. Clearwater, Florida is beautiful.
But it's hot.
And it's hot. That's the whole thing.
Hot.
That's the whole theme today. It's hot. So we're like, if you can't beat them, join them. So. I'm going to be a fat, sweaty mess in the backyard today, and I don't even care anymore. I'm not even sure if I'm going to wear a hat or like a sweatband or nothing. I might even wear a shirt that's like gets dark quick. Yeah, I can't do that. Anyway, it's going to be, we're like, you know what? Let's forget trying to fight it, and let's just go for it, man. So we're going to do Nashville Hot Chicken on a heat index warning Florida day. We're going to try and drink lots of water, and hopefully we don't pass out. Nobody wants your videos viewed because of that, let's be honest. So we'll see you at...
Why are people passing out?
I'm passing out.
Oh.
Right. We're air conditioned right now. Anyway, we'll see you there.
Here we are in the Tampa area. Trish from Clearwater wants to know what makes Nashville chicken so...
Oh, it's a good question. Finish
so
that.
Delicious. Why is Nashville chicken different than, say, a Chick-fil-A hot chicken
That started out kind of smart-assy and then turned into a really good question. Well, Trish from Clearwater, the difference is, there's a few. We're going to do them tonight. Well, you got to remember the oil that these guys cook this stuff in gets pretty laced with cayenne pepper. So if you're going to do this from the start, add a little cayenne pepper to your oil. So that's where a little bit of the heat's going to come from. And then when you do the egg wash, when you go to build the breading on the chicken before you fry it, instead of just milk, you're going to mix milk with that hot sauce. So you've got hot sauce there. You got cayenne pepper. in the flour, which is added to the breading. And then the real magic of this stuff is off to the side. You create a dry mixture of paprika and hot chili sauce and more cayenne pepper, brown sugar. And for the wet, you grab about a half a cup. You add about a half a cup of the oil that you fried the chicken in. So that's what you end up brushing the fried chicken in. So I mean, it's hot. So what a great question. The difference between that and Chick-fil-A is Chick-fil-A doesn't care that much. They just make a spicy breading. There's a difference.
Or any other, hot chicken spicy sandwich that you go get.
Yeah, it's just spicy in the breading. There's a couple of extra steps like the cayenne and the oil and the hot sauce and the
So
wet
it's
part.
like
Yeah. Are we going the right way here?
Uh,
All right, so we're gonna head in and we're gonna order our chicken tenders. That's what we really like, and we'll see you out back. If I get a couple of shots inside, do it. We're not gonna tell them we're here. Did you lock it?
No.
Of course not. I have the keys in my hand. I love it.
Look at you.
Oh, here it comes quick. Good.
Oh, that's good. I appreciate that the kids eat these too.
So good.
Yeah, it's good.
Hurts.
What hurts? Your lips?
The chicken hurts.
Lips like sugar. My lips are burning. Like if you kissed someone right now and they were not eating anything spicy or didn't like spicy,
They'd be so mad.
it would be like that. Yeah. You taste it. You know what I really like about it? And I'm guessing that's the brown sugar part. No, no, I like the crunch. It's got the crunch.
Double fried.
No, I like the crunch. It's got the crunch.
Double fried.
Ooh! I almost want to pick it up and eat it. No, but a nice cool glass of water is good. It's helpful.
All right. That was really good. Oh my God. My gird is on fire. Oh, shit. It's so awful. Now we're going to go home and make it. It's right here. That's where it's living.
Mine's right here.
Oh, that's it there too. It's worth the trip.
I
You guys
picked
are.
the crunchy off the floor and ate it.
She did. And it wasn't the floor because floors get cleaned. It was outside in the dirt and the rocks and the brick.
It was no dirt. It was lovely,
What
fresh,
were we sitting on?
white rocks.
Picked it up off the fresh white rock where absolutely nobody puts their feet. Anywho, it's that good. So you guys do an awesome job. We're going to try and see how we do this in the backyard. I'll tell you this one thing, though. Every time we do this, we get close sometimes. And sometimes when you take that first bite, sometimes it's even a little bit better than what we do in the backyard. But here's the one thing that's always missing, and I'll give it to these guys because they're doing it, is the passion.
Yeah.
It's the passion behind it.
Well, the owners are sitting out
They're
there.
sitting right there, man, and I'm watching these guys in the back, and it's the same guys that are here every time we're here, which says everybody gets it, man. Everybody gets when it's time to do this, time to do that, because there's a method to this.
Well, they're packed.
And they're packed all the time. So let's go home and try it. But oh my God, no matter what happens, we'll be back.
Oh yeah. I think they're gonna have great.
Unless this eats a hole in my stomach, like aliens. So we are back in the backyard on the Marks on the Grill sets after yesterday's excursion into Tampa to try our Nashville Hot Chicken. We're finally going to try this recipe on our own in our backyard, and we want to share it with you because this is one of those treats that there's a couple of steps to, so maybe that's why you avoid doing it at home, but seriously, it's pretty easy. Come on back here, I'm going to show you what you need, okay? So you're going to need about 3 to 4 pounds of chicken. Now you can use chicken pieces whole, or you can use the strips like we're using here. And you've got a choice to make. You can salt and pepper these, or do what we did and marinate these in buttermilk overnight. Wow, you're going to love it. All right, so now we are going to dredge this, which means we're going to bread it. So we're going to need our wet side. We're going to use a little bit of, we're going to use 2 cups of whole milk, 3 eggs, and remember, Nashville Hot Chicken has heat going through everything, and it's going to start here. So we're going to put a little hot sauce in there. Now we need our dry ingredients. Sometimes you use breadcrumbs. We're going to use flour, 2 cups worth. And now here's when it starts to happen, man. I got 2 tablespoons of paprika, and 1 tablespoon of cayenne. All right, now we're going to dredge and bread those pieces of chicken, get that little bit of spice going there. But here's what really happens. At the end, the glaze that we're going to make, we're going to use 1 cup of that oil that we just fried the chicken in that has a lot of those spices like the cayenne already running around in there. There's a little more heat for you, all right? But we're also going to go ahead and take that oil and make a glaze to pour over the chicken when we're done. And for that, you're going to want, you ready for this? 4 heaping tablespoons of cayenne pepper. That's right. Oh, by the way, this is where you get to control the heat. If you want it medium, knock it down a tablespoon. If you want it mild, knock it down another one. If you want it super hot, add 1. If you want it, add a couple. All right? So now you're also going to want another tablespoon of paprika, and you're going to want 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar to calm it down a little, and 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. So guys, that's it. Let's get this mixed up, and let's get this chicken breaded and into the bath. Oh yeah, you're going to need some oil. And now it's time for the dry ingredients. So now here's another little pro tip for you. I don't know what your setup's like in the backyard, which keeps our relationship less creepy. But if you don't have a sink, then I want you to make sure you got some rubber gloves handy. It makes cleanup really easy, and the last thing you want to get on anything is chicken. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're brand new at breading and dredging and all that kind of stuff is they put the wet ingredient on first. Don't do that. Always put the dry first, then the wet. You need to give it something to stick to, wet, and then put that breading back on, okay? So let's go ahead and walk through that. And that is a perfectly breaded piece of chicken. That's exactly what you're looking for. So let's finish this up with the rest of them. And that's how we do that. All right, so now it's time for the fryer, all right? You're gonna do this in batches. Now, whatever your life choices have been as far as your fryer goes, I support you, I really do. But here's what we're doing, okay? We're gonna use the Blackstone Range Top Combo. It's got a cool grilling surface, which I'm using as a table tonight. But more importantly for today, it's got a built-in deep fryer. That's the coolest thing ever. Now you can use a cast iron pot if you want. You can use a copper pan, makes no difference. All you need to do is make sure you get the oil up to somewhere between 325 and 350. This is not a time for 375 degrees, okay? That's a little bit too hot because we don't want to overcook the outside before the chicken gets, you know, hot and dry on the inside. And we're always looking for at least 165 degrees. Now, the longer you leave something in a fryer, the crunchier it gets outside. But most of the time with chicken, the further past 165 degrees you go, it gets dried out, all right? So the reason you want to marinate this overnight is you allow for about that extra 15 to 20 degrees to get that skin nice and crisp, or that outside nice and crisp if you're doing the tenderloins, but you still get the inside cooked perfectly. So 325 to 350, okay? And we are, oh, just about there. Have a look here. This is kind of cool, okay? If you cook this in batches, you're going to notice that throughout the day, your oil starts to change color a little bit. That's okay. That means that this is getting infused with that paprika, chili oil, and the big one, the cayenne pepper. So the more times you use this before it needs to be filtered or just tossed, the hotter and spicier and more Nashville-y it's going to get. And I gotta hand it to Blackstone, man. That is 10 great big giant chicken tenderloins, oops, 12, at the exact same time. That's a nice big fryer. We appreciate that. If you've taken the basket out of the fryer, make sure you grab that slotted spoon and give it just a little bit of a canoodle. because you want to make sure that none of the pieces are sticking together and everything fries right. All right, so we got a little heat in with the milk, we got a little heat in with the flour, we even got a little bit of heat in with the frying oil because we've done a couple of batches today. But now it's time for the real deal, and this you're going to find in the chili oil that you create from the oil that you're frying the chicken in. This is cool. All right, so watch what you're going to do, right? 4 tablespoons, man. 4 tablespoons. That's the real deal. Cayenne pepper. Another tablespoon of paprika. You got a teaspoon of chili oil. I'm running with 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I got 1 teaspoon of garlic. All right. Now, optional is a little bit of salt, but at this point, I think I got enough salt in the diet. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Take a whisk and combine that really, really well. Now, what I like to do sometimes is double up this batch and put this aside, because I got to tell you something. If you're looking for a homemade, hot, holy cow, what's going on spice, this is a great one. It's a good one to sprinkle on the chicken when you're done, or just kind of put it aside and add to some of your other favorite dishes. So yeah, if you want to, put that little spice combination aside, boy, because that is a good one. I love it. So now, all we're missing is the wet ingredient, and that comes in the form of that hot oil that we've been infusing that cayenne pepper in since we started this. So we're going to need about a cup. So that's 3 of these guys. There we go. I think it's closer to 4. There we are. Now, one of the tricks to your chili oil is you're going to want to make sure that you're always keeping it stirred, always keeping it going, especially when it comes time to serve this over the chicken, because what ends up happening is those dry ingredients, which don't have enough time to saturate in the oil, will sink to the bottom pretty quick. So we're going to stir it up now, but remember, when it comes time to spoon it over, brush it over, ladle it over, however it is, you're going to introduce that to that incredible chicken in the fryer. That's what you're going to want to do. So there we go. We got that done. And now we're going to grab that thermometer and check our chicken. So remember, 165 is what we're looking for. And we are sitting at about 1, oh my goodness, there we go. Guys, we are ready. That is absolutely ready to pull out. But here's what I'm going to do. Like I said, we went ahead and we brined that chicken. We marinated that chicken. We made sure that we're not going to let that dry out. So a lot of times if you would pull that out of there right now, it's not quite as crispy and crunchy as you want it to be, all right? So let it go a few more minutes. And if you want one of the pro routes or one of the real pro tips to take, at 150 degrees, take it out of there, let it cool off, and then refry it. Wow! You won't know what hit you. But I haven't got time for that today, okay? Today we're just doing it once, all right? Just be happy. All right, so I think we're ready to get this out of there, guys. Now remember, if you're working with tenderloins, you want to be really gentle. It's not like that flour and breading has any skin or fat to stick to. It's just kind of hanging out there. So this is not something you want to toss in a bowl like wings when it's all done, and it's certainly not something you want to be too rough on in the fryer while everything's hot. You want as much of that breading and coating to stay stuck on and happy and content and the whole 9 yards, you guys. So again, make sure that you're not too rough with these guys. If you're doing the whole pieces of chicken, all right, you're still going to shoot for that 165 degrees, but it's going to take a lot longer to get to that temperature on the inside. So your crust and breading is going to be right where it needs to be at that 165 degree mark, guys. So always remember that, all right? 15 to 17 minutes for any of your pieces with bones, especially the bigger ones. And if you're dealing with smaller pieces like wings, legs, or tenderloins like this, you're at about 8 to 10 minutes. So there's your little cheat guide. Man, don't those look good. So another pro tip for you, okay? That oil right now is infused oil. That actually takes a long time to make and is really expensive at the store. So before you either throw this out because you're done with it or filter it to reuse it again, put a little away like Grandma used to do with the bacon grease. You know what I'm saying. All right, so there's my little tip for you. All right, so now it's time to make these Nashville hot. So remember what I said. All of your dry ingredients are kind of hanging out on the bottom of that oil, that chili oil you made, that spicy oil. So just give that a bit of a stir and just start to spoon it on. And remember, you want it to last on all the pieces. So go ahead. It's gonna. This is gonna last you a long time and a lot of pieces. So go ahead and just have fun coating that chicken, man. Oh, doesn't that look good? All that spice is in there, man. The cayenne, the paprika, it is all living in there. That's where the color of Nashville fried chicken comes from, is that glaze that they spoon over the top. So now you're gonna flip it over, nice and gentle, just like we discussed. So all of that breading stays on there. So now listen, I gotta tell you something, man. If you've got an air fryer, you are looking at one of the best dishes you will ever reheat in an air fryer. And I promise you that from my family to yours, man. If you've got one of those air fryers, this is one of the best things, man. Have this at lunch. Oh, what a treat. Now, I'm going to say this, all right? I'm going to give a shout out. We got this inspiration, I mean, initially in Nashville, but here locally, there's a place called King of the Coop down in Tampa. And I'll tell you something, as close as we ever get here at home to these recipes, there is one thing that's lacking from your neighborhood spots that brings these creations you know, to you and make sure that we've all got a chance to try some of these great foods. You know what they've got that we can never have? The same passion for what they're doing. So try these dishes at home, save a buck or two here and there, really get out there and kind of get experimental and inventive. You're gonna have fun with that, but at the end of the day, support that place that gave you that inspiration to try these at home. So now let's plate it just like they do in the restaurant, because I love that. There's one there, a little bit up top, and then we got one there, and one over here, and a little bit up top. So guys, this is from my family to yours. A little bit of Nashville hot chicken on the Blackstone. Enjoy this, try it, especially if you love the heat. My name's Marc Gill. This has been Marc's on the Grill. We will see you out back for our next recipe. I gotta try this. Come on in here. There it is. Woo! That's the cayenne, baby. Wow. All right. I'm going to finish that, take a bottle of Tums, and we'll see you next time.